Psalm 18, the Lord my rock and deliverer. Psalm 18 is a long, powerful song of thanksgiving that celebrates God's deliverance, protection, and faithfulness. It reflects David's personal experience of being rescued from overwhelming enemies and near-death danger, and it overflows with gratitude for God's intervention. The psalm is also closely paralleled in 2 Samuel 22, reinforcing its place as a monumental expression of praise for divine rescue. Beyond its historical setting, it carries a broader theological significance that points toward God's ultimate saving work through the Messiah. The psalm opens with an expression of deep personal affection and trust. I will love you, O Lord, my strength. David uses rich imagery to describe God as his rock, fortress, deliverer, shield, and stronghold. Each metaphor emphasizes stability, protection, and security. Together, they present God not only as powerful but also as personally known and deeply trusted. The foundation of the psalm is relational. David's confidence is rooted in a living bond with God rather than abstract belief in divine power. This trust is set against the backdrop of extreme danger. David describes being surrounded by the pangs of death and overwhelmed by destructive forces. In his distress, he calls upon God, and the psalm emphasizes that his cry is heard. The response is not distant or indifferent, it is immediate attention from God. This establishes a key theme. In moments of human helplessness, God is attentive to the cries of those who call upon him. The psalm then shifts into vivid and dramatic imagery of divine intervention. The natural world itself is portrayed as reacting to God's presence, earth shaking, smoke rising, fire flashing, and thunderous activity accompanying his action. These descriptions are poetic expressions of God's overwhelming power and authority over creation. The language communicates not only strength but movement, God actively intervening in human history. The statement that he delivered David because he delighted in him highlights that deliverance flows from divine favor and grace rather than human ability or merit. A further section reflects on righteousness and divine justice. David speaks of being rewarded according to his righteousness, which, in context, refers to his integrity and faithfulness in contrast to his enemies, rather than absolute moral perfection. The psalm emphasizes a principle that God responds to human character. Humility receives mercy, while pride leads to opposition. This reinforces the idea that God's justice is both moral and relational, engaging with the true disposition of the heart. The theme of divine empowerment becomes prominent as David describes his ability to overcome enemies and accomplish feats beyond natural strength. He attributes all success to God's enabling power, recognizing that victory is not self-generated but granted. Strength, skill, and effectiveness are portrayed as gifts from God, underscoring complete dependence on him even in moments of triumph. The psalm concludes in praise, "The Lord lives. Blessed be my rock." This final section celebrates God's ongoing activity, mercy, and faithfulness. He is not a distant deity but one who acts, saves, and sustains. The closing lines also extend the scope of God's mercy beyond David's immediate experience, pointing toward a broader horizon of blessing and future generations. A significant dimension of the psalm emerges in its universal outlook. One verse, in particular, is later understood as anticipating the inclusion of the nations in God's saving work, a theme that finds fulfillment in the spreading of salvation beyond Israel. The final reference to God's anointed also carries forward-looking significance, pointing toward the enduring promise of God's chosen deliverer. In summary, Psalm 18 is a sweeping testimony of deliverance that moves from personal trust, through desperate need, into divine intervention, and finally to global and enduring praise. It teaches that God is both powerful and personal, attentive to human distress, and fully capable of saving. Ultimately, it points beyond David's experience to the greater work of salvation accomplished through the promised Anointed One, in whom God's rescue and faithfulness reach their fullest expression.
Psalm 18, to the chief musician, a psalm of David the servant of the Lord, who spoke to the Lord the words of this song on the day that the Lord delivered him from the hand of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul. And he said, I will love you, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my strength, in whom I will trust. my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. The pangs of death surrounded me, and the floods of ungodliness made me afraid. The sorrows of Sheol surrounded me, the snares of death confronted me. In my distress I called upon the Lord, and cried out to my God. He heard my voice from his temple, and my cry came before him even to his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled, the foundations of the hills also quaked and were shaken, because he was angry. Smoke went up from his nostrils, and devouring fire from his mouth. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down with darkness under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and flew. He flew upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness his secret place. His canopy around him was dark waters, and thick clouds of the skies. From the brightness before him his thick clouds passed with hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. He sent out his arrows and scattered the foe, lightnings in abundance, and he vanquished them. Then the channels of the sea were seen, the foundations of the world were uncovered. At your rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of your nostrils. He sent from above, he took me. He drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, from those who hated me, for they were too strong for me. They confronted me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my support. He also brought me out into a broad place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands. He has recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. I was also blameless before him, and I kept myself from my iniquity. Therefore the Lord has recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. With the merciful you will show yourself merciful. With a blameless man you will show yourself blameless. With the pure you will show yourself pure. And with the devious you will show yourself shrewd. For you will save the humble people, but will bring down haughty looks. For you will light my lamp. The Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. For by you I can run against a troop. By my God I can leap over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is proven. He is a shield to all who trust in him. For who is God except the Lord? And who is a rock except our God? It is God who arms me with strength and makes my way perfect. He makes my feet like the feet of deer, and sets me on my high places. He teaches my hands to make war, so that my arms can bend a bow of bronze. You have also given me the shield of your salvation. Your right hand has held me up, your gentleness has made me great. You enlarge my path under me, so my feet did not slip. I have pursued my enemies and overtaken them, neither did I turn back again till they were destroyed. I have wounded them so that they could not rise. They have fallen under my feet. For you have armed me with strength for the battle. You have subdued under me those who rose up against me. You have also given me the necks of my enemies, so that I destroyed those who hated me. They cried out, but there was none to save, even to the Lord, but he did not answer them. Then I beat them as fine as the dust before the wind. I cast them out like dirt in the streets. You have delivered me from the strivings of the people. You have made me the head of the nations. A people I have not known shall serve me. As soon as they hear of me, they obey me. The foreigners submit to me. The foreigners fade away and come frightened from their hideouts. The Lord lives. Blessed be my rock. Let the God of my salvation be exalted. It is God who avenges me and subdues the peoples under me. He delivers me from my enemies. You also lift me up above those who rise against me. You have delivered me from the violent man. Therefore I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the Gentiles, and sing praises to your name. Great deliverance he gives to his king, and shows mercy to his anointed, to David, and his descendants forevermore.